MVP for this year? Who's
Well, I
going to
told
get
you
the
before.
trophy this year?
Well, I told you before. And I still think so. I was going with Shea, but
Yeah.
based on what I'm reading, odds makers and stuff like that, Vegas and stuff, they're saying Jokic is gonna win it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Jokic winning it. He has the stats. He is one of the better players in the NBA, if not the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Him and Giannis could be 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just based on who I think they're gonna give it to, they're probably gonna give it to Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't there's nobody else right now that could that I'm hearing that's going to be like, okay, yeah, they're going to win the MVP. Shea kind of lost some steam. I don't know if because he's been he's been sidelined for a bit, so I guess he's not in our face right now. So it's like, okay, yeah, he's not going to be MVP. But outside of him, Jayson Tatum, not really. Like, I don't think he's going to be MVP. Anthony Edwards, nah. So like, yeah, it's probably going to go to Jokic, man.
So
Like, I don't know what you're thinking.
is Luka in your consideration? Because I think, like I said, and this is kind of referencing one of our first episodes. My opinion of the most valuable player is the one that takes their team from here to here. The biggest discrepancy in what that one player does to that team is the MVP for me. Some people like to say it's the best player on the best team. Sure, that works too. But like in terms of just value that player brings to that team, it's Luka for me. Because who is Dallas without Luka? And this is kind of like a new notion that I'm kind of coming across because I've been watching, Dallas play Golden State and, Dallas, I think they were playing Phoenix or mixing up some of the teams. But I've been watching them play a little bit closer since they've been winning a lot of games. They don't have a bad chance of getting into fourth place. I think 5 is a lock for them regardless. And, of course, Kyrie and, Luka have been working it out. When I first saw them play together and they lost like 8 straight, I'm like, this is never going to work.
It's going to work, yeah.
I don't know how they're making that work. That's amazing to me as well, because it shouldn't. Like I look at Tatum and Brown, they can't make it work. You know what I mean? Like, they're making it work because they're winning, but they have more pieces around them that makes them such a much better team. Plus the defensive prowess around them as well. But like when it comes to Dallas, and you look at their roster, they're all decent players. They're all decent. Don't get me wrong, but without Luka, they're the Spurs.
Essentially, their offense is literally Kyrie and Luka. That's their offense. That's literally their offense. Yeah. Those guys, one of those guys go cold. More likely, probably maybe Kyrie, but that's it. It's done. Like, so I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Luka potentially winning. It's just that I guess my criteria for an MVP, you need to be one of the better teams. And the Mavericks are what, 5th or 6th right now in the West, which means that they're probably. So probably what, maybe 8th in the whole entire NBA, maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
So that's the only notch against him why I wouldn't give it to him. But I'll say that too, I wouldn't be mad at him because he does have the stats. You're right. Yeah. The Mavericks are probably like dead last without Luka on that team. Maybe not dead last just because they have Kyrie, but yeah, without Luka, that team is going nowhere. Yeah. So I'm not mad at it, but Jokic has probably got it, What was that, 3? That's probably, if he wins, what was that, 3 and 4 years?
Yeah, that'd be 3 and 4 years. That's crazy,
bro. That's crazy.